Today's episode is brought to you by Hellofresh. Hellofresh is a meal kit delivery service that makes cooking much more fun so you can focus on the entire experience and not just the final plate. All of this for less than $10 a meal. Visit HelloFresh.com and use the promo code SUCCESS30, that's SUCCESS30, to save $30 off your first week at HelloFresh. Again, use the promo code SUCCESS30 at checkout. Today's show is brought to you by Organifi, the best tasting green blend on the market. They're cold processed, guys, to retain all of the nutrients. And if you're looking to fill all the nutritional gaps and buffer out that new stress that your body has to deal with on a daily basis, check out Organifi.com. That's Organifi.com and use the promo code SUCCESS to save 20% on your order. And now to today's show.
I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Carl Phillips.
I will greet this day with love in my heart. That's all I got for you.
And Dr. Love Conquers.
I know that's right. I'm going to go. I won't say what Carl said. It sounds sweet.
Oh, yeah, no, Carl was ready. Carl been waiting on that one.
Augmendino. Yes, indeed. Augmendino.
Well, we back, man. Shout out to everybody who listened to the last episode, man. We got a ton of emails, just comments, from people, man, saying that last episode was extremely helpful. Shout out to Dr. Downs, and he's helping some folks, man. People been hitting him up. And so it's just a blessing to see that, we were able to provide that resource to some folks, man. But I would be remiss if I didn't start with the Spartan Fight song.
Ooh.
Let's go. Hey, I keep telling y'all Wolverines, man, keep playing with us Spartans, man. You keep on playing, man. Y'all think we a joke. And it's 8 out of 10 now. So that was just for all my Wolverine fans. I'm sorry if you live outside the state of Michigan and you don't understand what's going on. But it's like two brothers who got a long-standing rivalry to see who can impress moms the most. And we are the belle of the ball for 8 out of the last 10 years. Although historically, I will give it to them. They've been on our head, but not since black players were allowed to play. So we're back in the building. And man, what's going on, y'all? How's everybody's weekend? How is everybody feeling? Everybody good?
Oh, excellent. I got a 3-year-old daughter now, so it's starting to get a little scary.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, Jesse. Yeah, wow. No more babies, man. You got kids.
It's real.
And hip hop preacher, where in the world is Waldo? Where are you, bro?
Man, Austin, Texas, bro. Austin. First time here, really. You know what I'm saying? I've never really been here. I say really because when we did, Carl, I don't know if you guys remember the Lennar Holmes gig I did, and I toured through Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and then we came through Austin for a second, but we just kind of spoke at a convention and got out. So I'm physically, here for a few days. So so far it looks good. I was grateful when I landed. It was like 70, so it wasn't overbearing. When I think Texas, I think extreme heat. But the weather was gorgeous last night. Went for a little baby run last night, and had a great time, man. So yeah, so far so good. And I stayed at home for an entire week, maybe in 4 days, 3 or 4 days. So
it was weird. I saw it eat like 3 or 4 times in the last week. I was nervous. Like, yo, he must not. He retired for sure now.
Stretch he had the nerve to tell me last night. I'm good, so it don't matter what time we on vacation. I said vacation is when you're home now. You know what I'm saying? Right. Grand Ledge is vacation now, bro. What you talking about? Like vacation is when you at the crib, you on the road so much. So yeah, no, definitely. Real quick, man, if I'm talking a little loud, I apologize. I have 4 industrial-sized fans and 2 industrial-sized dehumidifiers at the crib. It's been a crazy day. I don't know if anybody ever had any water trouble at the house. Carl, you said you had.
Yes, sir. Been there.
But like 24/7, these fans got to run. I just turned it off for the podcast. I started to go in the truck and do it, and I was like, it's too early in the morning. if an hour and a half stopped these walls from drying, then it's just not meant to be. So I turned the ones in the basement off, but for 2 straight days now and 1 more day today, so 3 straight days, 24/7, these fans have been blowing in the house. Me and Kansas was eating dinner last night, just gazing into each other's eyes. We couldn't even talk. It was just like, hey, hope your day was good, because I can't hear a word you're saying. So it's been crazy over here. Of course, Trey, bro, I don't know what's wrong with him. He, like, the dehumidifier, first of all, so I'm tripping on the like, okay, I know this ain't my lane, but they just blowing fans at the wall. And I'm saying, is that really about to dry the wall? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't feel like you need to cut a hole in the wall so it can get back behind the wall? My man just got fans blowing at the wall. So then he's got the dehumidifier. Guess how much, so you thinking, okay, you walk into my house, right? You don't feel any moisture. Obviously, you know there's moisture in the air. But how much do you think drains out of that from the dehumidifier? From the air, is pulling, you know, the moisture from the air. How much water would you actually say comes out of it? Carl, I'll let you give it a run.
Please.
So please, that wasn't on the GED test. See,
no. This is crazy to me. Like, I was trying to figure this out. I'm like, okay, are they playing with me? My man was like, no. This is how much water will pour in 3 days.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm gonna guess a couple gallons. I don't know what number, but I'm gonna say a couple gallons.
Okay, Carl's smart as all get out.
Yeah.
8 gallons a day.
Yeah.
Bruh, 8 gallons a day. I'm like,
insane.
I'm looking in the air like, where that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I got 8 gallons up in this
Why am I
joint.
so ashy?
Right, I'm like, what in the, bruh? So yeah, no, 8 gallons, like he said it's gonna happen like 3 times probably, so once a day is pulling 8 gallons worth of moisture out of the air. So we've been walking, it's like Phoenix in my house. If you just want a little resort vacation, just come on over here. It's just dry desert air over here. So yeah, no, it's been crazy the last few days. But anyway, Trey, so the hose comes from the living room all the way, you know, into the bathroom and then to the tub, because it's got a drain. There's 8 gallons. So Trey goes into the bathroom, uses the bathroom, and then decides, well, that hose don't look like it need to go in the tub. That definitely belongs in the toilet after I use the bathroom. So I come in there last night. This joker got the hose buried all the way down the toilet. I'm like, yo, it's crazy. I was like, I just came out the bathroom and I was just like, what are you doing? And he was like, what? He tried to play stupid, huh? I was like, bro, what are you doing? He was like, what are you talking about, daddy? I was like, bro, never mind. I told my wife, I'm like, never mind. And I just let him live. But, because we're working on this new thing, and I had to, you know, go there with myself because I'm trying not to overcorrect. Although that may have been a situation that needed correcting, but no, I'm for real, Carl. I'm on this. I had a talk with Candace the other night, and I'm like, yo, I don't want to make Trey gun shy either. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like I got in this mode where it was like everything he did, I'm like, nope, don't touch that. Sit down. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop. And I was like, yo, don't make him, you know, scared to move. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want him to be timid. So I'm on this new thing where I'm like, now don't get me wrong. If you out there, you like, oh, see, done got soft. No. We still lets the 1-2 happen if it needs to. Trust me. But for things that are not dangerous, for things that are not, you know, blatantly, you know, going against whatever, sometimes he just being a boy, being a little too hyper jumping. I'm like, okay, so you can't shut my man down on every single thing he does. And so we've been trying to let it live a little bit, but maybe last night was worthy of what do you do? Because he already knew not to touch the hose. And I know, you know how your kids like, the only time Trey doing something bad is when he go quiet. At any other time, he is a parakeet. Oh my goodness! And as soon as everything go quiet, you know something is going wrong. So anyway, yeah, it's been a weird couple of days at the house, but we're making it happen. E, I talked to you last night. You said you got a Gazelle of the Week, so we'll hit the theme song a little bit and let's let E give this Gazelle of the Week. Somebody at Cheesecake Factory make you, before you give yours, I will give mine. A little small Gazelle. Just because I wanted Cheesecake Factory to have a back-to-back. So we got a Cheesecake Factory Friday. Yeah, back to back. Yeah. Cheesecake Factory Friday night, Carl, right? So it's about 5:30. We purposely go early. Now we got babies. I don't know if anybody else got babies. You know, you can't go to the restaurant and wait an hour and then go sit down and then wait an hour for your food. Like, yo, you got to sit down, you know, before you got an expiration date on how long they gonna sit down. So we get there early, right? I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, it's mad tables. Cool. We go up to the front. It's not packed at all. You know, Cheesecake Factory don't take reservations. So we sitting there. I'm like, cool. Party 4. We have some friends in town. 8. All right, cool. Now, keep in mind, half of our party is under 3 foot tall. So I'm like, this finna be a breeze. Yeah. So the girl goes, okay, this is when I knew something was wrong. She said, I'm gonna go talk to my manager and we'll come back and quote you a wait time. I said, that's different. I mean, what does that mean? Okay, cool. So it took about 10 minutes to go quote me a wait time. I'm looking around like, now, mind you, it's tables outside. And it was nice out. I was like, we'll take a table outside, inside, don't matter. So I told her, first I was like, we'll take a table outside. She's like, oh, we can't make a table that big outside for 8. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. There's all kind of tables in here. So she goes back, she comes back, Carl, looks me dead in my face and says it's gonna be a 2-hour wait.
Stop.
Carl, I'm looking at tables wide open. She said it's gonna be a 2-hour wait. I said, excuse me? Yeah, it's gonna be a 2-hour wait. I said, I'm looking at some tables right here. She looks at those tables and goes, oh, those tables are separate. I said,
stop, see.
I said, could we push them together? She goes, oh, hold on, let me check. She comes back and goes, okay, y'all can sit down now. And we just push the tables 2 inches together. You know, Cheesecake Factory, Carl, where it's like the tables are like individual, but they like 5 inches apart.
Yeah.
We literally just went like, scooted them over and sat down immediately. I was looking at her like, bruh, I promise you, shout out to the A-type people. My sister-in-law get mad at me because I'm always making fun of A-type people. But I'm like, yo, you so A-type that it allows for no, and I know this is one of E's pet peeves, but I love my A-type people, but man, y'all, sometimes y'all gotta come off it because like, if it ain't in the rule book, if it ain't exactly how it's scripted, y'all just have a full meltdown. So shout out to baby girl who told me it was gonna be 2 hours.
Hey, so I'm geeked up hearing you say that. This ain't my gazelle. I wish it was, but you know, what is it called? Old Town. I don't know what it's called, Carl, but the little facility that we rent out. Yeah, Grand Marquis in Old Town.
Oh yeah.
You know, we've been using them for about 2 years strong.
That's where Jalen had his open house, right?
Jalen had his there. The Black History celebration was there. Everything. Somebody baby shower. So you know we use it because it's nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice.
It is nice.
Now it's not the it's not as nice as some other facilities, but it's a pretty vintage type.
Yeah, it's got character. It's got character.
You know what I'm saying? But honestly, the main reason why we decided, to utilize the facility is because you can bring your own food, your own dessert, etc. So apparently,
I thought you were going to say BYOB.
Oh yeah.
It's lit. You know what I'm saying? Where I come from, bring your own in with booze. You know what I'm saying? That way he said BYOF.
Yeah, bring your own food. You know what I'm saying? We hey, our parties are children friendly. You know what I'm saying? Everybody.
So are ours.
I'm laughing because Les Brown called me yesterday and was like, "Yo, E, we want to do this Kings, instead of Kings for comics, Kings of Comedy, want to do Kings of Motivation," right? And so he was just saying like, yo, and we're only selecting dudes that don't curse. And I was like, finally, my non-cursing thing might, you know what I'm saying? It might get me a little invitation somewhere.
So can I still come? Can I still come? Sure I don't need to speak, but can I be in the building?
Yeah, I'm sure you can be in the building if you sit in the back and keep your mouth shut.
And Carl, when he get pissed off, is he allowed to come?
Let me tell you something.
Because Carl let it fly every other Thursday.
He won't be pissed though. I promise. It'll be a non-pissed environment. But no. So I guess the young lady who was over it at the time, Carl. Shout out to Chris helping me to identify people. She must have been a flamingo, Carl, because she recently relocated to the West Coast. And so there was another young lady that took over and she called Didi like she want to meet. And Didi like, want to meet for what? And she's like, well, we have to go over some stuff. And Didi like, go over some stuff like, we've been using this facility for 2 years. Like, what could you possibly want to go over? And she's like, well, the contract. Didi was like, yo, go over the contract. We ain't never had to go over the contract. And she's like, well, yeah, there's a couple things that we need to know in terms of setup. And Didi was like, we set it up how we want to set it up. And she's like, and then food. And she's like, what about food? She's like, we need a license. You need to get your food from a licensed, caterer. Didi like, what? A license, whatever. So, bro, we Didi going in like, yo, let's look at our old contract. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk this thing through because there's no reason for us to go with you. We might as well go with,
And that's like one of the beauties of working with somebody small like that in a vintage little spot. Is like, you ain't got to do like the Lansing Center or all them places that you know you can't bring your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, don't get rid of your unique selling proposition.
Yeah. Well, because you're going to be out of business. And so long story short, the crazy part is when we looked at the contract, the girl was actually right, see, but the young lady who worked there before, like I said, she must have been flamingo. You know what I'm saying? Because she
she was just like, it is what it is. Come on.
It is what it is. Come on. You know what I'm saying? And was murdering like, bro, you had 6 months in advance, 7 to 8 months in advance. You had to get in touch with them if you wanted to book the venue. And so I was laughing because I was like, yo, it's a matter of personality. See, now they got an A-type in there who going with, and so Didi was like, yo, just cancel it. If it's on that, just cancel it because the facility itself, like you said, has character, but not to the point where you'd want to utilize that and not be able to bring in your own food. So yeah, shout out to all my A-type personalities. When you're gonna get shut down and somebody's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like your client's not gonna be happy. You might want to pull back and go B. You know what I'm saying? Leave A alone and try B or C out. And see how that works.
Oh, let me tell you something. B or C, they ain't gonna be there long because they're gonna get fired. But they're gonna make sure you straight and have a great experience.
Man, I'm saying,
I promise you. The health department gonna shut down B and C. But everybody, but while you there, it's gonna be lit.
Yeah. I'm saying A gonna have you tight work, but it's
all kind of discounts. I love B and C. They got discounts. B and C show up at the event. They like, look, we about to get it with you.
Man, she was there.
Let me get a plate.
She was all. She got a plate, Carl. She got a plate. But
yeah, no doubt. That's definitely the flamingo.
She gone, man. Yeah, and what's the song say? Ain't no sunshine when she gone.
She's gone.
Play that for me real quick, Will.
Anytime.
She goes away. Yeah, go and play that real quick for me. Give me a couple seconds of that.
It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone.
All right, so as I was saying, man, the gazelle, though, I don't even know if it's a gazelle. It's a super gazelle. It's a supreme gazelle.
We got levels of gazelle now. It's getting real.
Vicky is her name. Vicky. I hope she's listening. I know she's probably listening. I know she's listening because she knew she didn't know if I had my PhD or not, but she knew I was studying. She talked about me in the Buffini group. Like, look, see, y'all know, yeah, this is how you know I've been rebaptized, because I think it's a joke.
No doubt. I'm so proud of you, bro. I'm just excited for you to tell the story, because this was one of the main things that would probably drive you insane before. I'm talking about I'm talking about like E used to be ready to snap on stuff like this. And I promise you, I called you the other night just to be like, okay, I heard what happened. Let me just check up and see. And he was good. To his credit, he was solid. Thank you for being an example, bro.
Hey, let me tell you something. I might start cussing now, though. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this when you start cussing right here. So listen to me.
I'll do it for you. I'll be your cussing translator.
Look, all y'all that follow us, you know the deal. Like, we trying to pour nothing but positivity, in the earth, man. I promise you. And I know I got haters, but I pretty much know who they are. I ain't know I had
but hold on, E, slow down, because I think, like, I want people to feel this. I want people to hear this. This is important. Like, we joke a lot, but at the end of the day, this is important stuff. And here E is, the #1 motivational speaker in the world. And shout out to this week for just confirming that, as if we needed it. We'll talk about that a little later. But I think people, they think you get to a level where you don't have haters. Like people, like everybody just want to see you win now and just cheerleading you. Right. And listen guys, this is a real life. This ain't no fictional, oh, I got haters. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear that sometimes we throw the word around so loosely that it just becomes pie in the sky. No. We talking about literal haters who want to see you fail, who want to see you not progress. And so, yeah, I just want to make sure when we set that up, we talking about actual haters here. So, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so, like I said, man, we're trying to put nothing but positivity in the world. So we were blessed. We bought a facility, and, a lot of people, you might have saw it online. You saw us going in, gutting it out. My wife wants to cut the second floor out in one small section so that we can have a spirit, development area, and she wanted high ceilings. So we bought this property. It's almost a little bit over 15 acres of land, 2 buildings. And so the second building is a smaller building. And, of course, we've been doing filming in there for, Breathe University, whatever, doing, business stuff, But what I didn't see, was in a smaller building where, we would have church. I didn't realize that in order to have it, you had to have a special permit, or you had to have, or for the other property to rezone. And I knew about the rezoning. That's really why, we start going to some of the local council meetings so that we could, do it properly. And so, of course, when we go and we sit down and we're having a discussion with them and let them know we do understand in order to do construction, we're going to need to be licensed, and we're going to need to, get rezoned, and we're needing inspectors to come in and make sure we understand that. See, because we're changing the structure of the building, to some extent, like not necessarily,
which I can't stand anyway. Who made up that rule? It's my building.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm doing it on the outside, maybe, because everybody got to see it. So you might not want me to paint my house pink. But if I'm finishing my basement, why I got to come down to City Hall and tell you about it?
Yeah. Right.
I don't know who made these rules, but don't let me get started. Continue. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
No problem. So we go to the meeting, to get rezoned, and bro, we get there, and why do we have a group of individuals who just flat out don't want us there? One person even had the nerve to say, "Why would you buy property in our why'd you buy property in our in our town?" I'm thinking, what?
This is where I lose my baptism.
Oh, man.
I'm first of all, I'm like confused, because this is where I'm like, this America thing, this America. What do you mean when you say your town? Like, what does that mean exactly? And so
let me be your racism translator.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a different way if you'd like to hear it, the way they said it before you got to the council meeting.
But this is why I struggle, see, because, the person was doing a little bit of homework. Eric spoke at the Buffini group. Eric was working on his PhD. Did he finish that yet? I love it. She asked my wife, did he finish that yet?
No doubt.
And so, of course, Didi, helped her out. And so, just a series of questions. We saw people in there playing basketball. First of all, we don't even use the facility, like that. But I was amazed, see, that they had pictures, see. They literally came to church, sat in the church service. They took pictures to take to them and say they having church, and they're not supposed to be having church there. Wow. They got to get a special permit. And I'm thinking,
I didn't know they came. You didn't tell me they came and sat in.
They came into church. They had been driving. No, they came to church. They've been driving through the parking lot, taking pictures. They do stuff on Wednesdays. They do stuff on whatever. And I'm thinking, first of all, see, we having church. But let me go back and say, one of the things I had to explain to them. I said, first of all, I lived here for 10 years. I've been in this community for 10 years. Right. My children went to school here. My children went to middle school, high school. My kids graduated. Well, one graduated from, one goes to Michigan State. I pay taxes in the state of Michigan, and more specifically in this township, this city, I pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? So what do you mean? Why am I buying a building in your neighborhood? I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you've not done your homework.
Right.
And so, of course, the city, of course, is not the city council members. They're just like, it's rules, so we good. We not tripping. But they're like, well, it's going to tear down the property value. I'm like, tear down the property value? A church?
So the number one motivational speaker in the world buys an empty, vacant building that people are spray painting with graffiti, fixes the building up and has church in there, And that brings down the property value?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I just want to make sure I'm following you.
No, unbelievable. And so one of the lawyers that was there, that he's in the town, he goes to the meeting. He said, like, a church bring down your property value? He was like, yo, how many churches do you have in the city? It's like, she didn't know. Like, I don't know. He was like, and so you don't want a church? Like, you don't want people, spiritual development, people growing.
Right. Everybody say turn it into a nightclub.
Right. He said, I can't understand that. So then there was another company I found out, Carl, that they've been spying on. Apparently, they said they ordered 250 chairs. It's a business. And I'm thinking, who has time to count? Wow. You're counting their chairs. They rent a tent, but yeah, bro. So I'm
nothing to do.
Like I said, I am amazed, but I'm not bothered by it. And let me tell our listeners, I missed a big chunk. Now listen to me, City Council wasn't tripping. They was like, yo, we'll get the paperwork in, and you guys can get it in as soon as possible. We have you've been approved on level 1 because according to laws, you've not broken any laws, and according to, some of the codes, et cetera, you guys, you meet the standards, so it's okay, you're good. But so the lady was like, they need a special permit and they don't have that. And so according to the law, we need to they can't have service in there until they get the paperwork. So of course, the city council members, you could tell they didn't want to go that route, but they were bound by law. And so, we won't be able to have worship in the building until we get that permit, and I'm just like, first of all, I hope they don't think, that they've destroyed my faith or, they've upset me because, of course, I'm connected in the city. When you reap what you sow, so I have several, friends I'm close to that can allow us to, continue our worship experience until we get to the place where we get the permit. But it just goes to show you the bitterness and the hate, and I don't take it personal. See, hurt people. It is what it is, and I feel sorry for them. But like I said, this is not going to stop us. It's not going to stop us from worshiping. It's not going to stop us from the mission that we have and using the facility for good, But it is disturbing that people are hurt so much that they would actually come to your church service, that they would come to the property, take pictures of you going to church.
Like you selling dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what in the, it's like an FBI investigate. Like, yo, it's church.
I'm just
and here go the thing. And it ain't just, like, this ain't, like, if you sat in there, it's crazy. We got white folks at the church, black folks, Latino, Asian. It is a melting pot at the church. Like, everybody up in that joint. And so, like, why would you even remotely want to stop something that positive? Like, and like I said, here go my thing. The building was empty, y'all. Like, I hope y'all understand it. The building was empty. The parking lot was empty. It was growing weeds everywhere. People was over there vandalizing, spray painting. Kids, teenagers was doing stuff they ain't had no business doing, all around there.
They was using it as a dump, man. They was using it as the forest area. They were using it as a dump. People were going and dumping trash. It's like unbelievable.
Right, but now you worried because it's a church? Okay.
What do you get? Like, I'm just curious for real. Like, do you go home at night and feel like, yes,
I absolutely.
Is that the feeling? Because I'm just still really trying to get, like, what do you get out of that?
The Grinch, you know what I'm saying? Like, just you hurt, you pissed. You ain't trying to have nobody had a good time. He said it, hurt people. And so when you're not comfortable in your own and you mad about something, you might as well run around and stir up as much ruckus as you can. I'm just like, yo, it's amazing to me that people got time. Like, you came and took pictures, like you did all of that, like, and you're not getting a check for it. I'm like, what is the mission? But yeah, some people just hate, man. But shout out to the young lady who got time to be running around after us.
I'm gonna give her a hug. I'm going to the next meeting. I want to hug her.
No question.
No. I'm talking about for real. And hopefully she come back for church because she needs it. You know what I'm saying?
Baptized.
I'm thinking she might come get baptized.
I'm thinking baptized. Yeah.
Man, shout out to our sponsor today, man. We got 2 sponsors. The first one is, man, Hellofresh. And we appreciate Hellofresh for showing us love, man. Hellofresh offers customers a classic box, a veggie box, and a family box. You can order 3, 4, or 5 different meals per week. designed for either 2 or 4 people. Each week, HelloFresh creates delicious recipes with step-by-step instructions designed to take around 30 minutes for everyone from novices to seasoned at-home cooks. Let's see, what did Candace and I try this week, man? Shout out to HelloFresh. They always hook us up. We had the chicken sausage pizza with zucchini and oregano, which was fire. And last week, man, we did the chicken pineapple quesadillas, which were crazy. So, man, if you don't have a lot of time, you need to holler at HelloFresh. They are killing the game. They employ 2 full-time registered dietitians on staff who review each recipe to ensure it's nutritionally balanced. They also deliver food to your doorstep in a recyclable, insulated box. Again, this segment was brought to you by HelloFresh. Please visit HelloFresh.com and use the promo code SUCCESS30 to save $30 off your first week of deliveries when you subscribe. That's HelloFresh.com, promo code SUCCESS30. So shout out to everybody who's been using that promo code, emailing us, hitting us up. You guys have been doing a great job of letting us know, sending us pictures of you cooking and the Organifi, just showing us, that you guys are really rocking with the product. So thank you guys for that. Real quick, man, I got a lion of the week. And
let's
normally
balance it out. Let's balance it out.
Yeah, I want to balance it out, man. My lion of the week this particular week, man, is my big brother, Dr. Eric Thomas, man. And it's so funny, Carl. Like, people always ask us, like, yo, why did y'all stay with E when there was no money, and why did y'all continue to work with him when, it didn't, maybe look like y'all was going, blow up or whatever. And not like I needed any more confirmation, because I don't. And I told y'all E's the best in the world. And I don't necessarily mean he's the richest speaker in the world. I'm sure there's speakers who make, a gazillion times more money than us. But in terms of impact and resonating with the people, there's nobody better, and E demonstrated that again last week. And it's kind of funny because you guys hear us on the podcast, but just to give you an idea of the synergies that we all have, this is how it went down. Now, Tuesday nights, E, of course, is at the Success Series. Shout out to everybody who comes through the Success Series. And E speaks every week at the Success Series for free, just for the community. Michigan State students, of course, are, the target goal, but we open it up to everybody. And so this particular Tuesday, I didn't get to watch. Sometimes it's streamed or whatever, but I got the kids running around the house. We got fans blowing. So I didn't get a chance to watch it. And Carl sends it to me right after. He sends me the audio and goes, "You're welcome." And I'm just like, what? And he's like, "Yeah, it's one of those." And so I go through and listen, and I was like, wow. And I cut a piece of it and sent it to the team. And the team, came with it. They, Ken and Carl, and, they put the audio together. I cut the pieces that I want, and we turned it into a 4-minute video. And, I told the squad, I said, congratulations, this one is out of here. This will do, $1 million. And I believe, Carl, if I'm
she's
right,
past that now.
She's over
right.
$1 million. I'm looking right. Matter of fact, I'm looking right now. 1.2 million views. It hasn't even been a full week, and it did 1.2 million views here on Facebook. And the message was so powerful, and it was, it moved me, And so people ask, like, yo, why was y'all? And it's like, yo, this is the kind of stuff, Carl and I have been privy to hear for the last however many years. And so I want to give you the line of the week, E, not only for, the speech. That's not, wasn't the concern. I'll be real. When E said he was going back and doing the Success Series, I'm like, E, man, we got enough on our plate, bruh. Yeah. I'm like, yo, we got, the BU, we got everything we're doing with that. We got Game Changers, we got traveling, we on the road. We got books, we got audio. I'm like, bruh, can we breathe? Why do you have to do a Tuesday night? You just, give us one day, and he was like, no, we got to do it. And out of that has come, not only some of the most incredible messages, the communities being reached, people, lives are being changed. And I believe that this particular video will go down in history and it be cataloged in, one of the greatest speeches of all times. And so, man, I want to thank you for, always using your gift, always, pushing the envelope and stretching all of us on the team, because you continue to do that with the example that you set. And I'm going to play the speech now on the podcast for those of you who may not have heard it. It's been out a week. It's called Love Conquers. And it was right after the Vegas shooting. We actually didn't get a chance to talk about Vegas at all on the last podcast because we recorded it early with Dr. Adam Downs, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it. And this was, I believe, 2 days after the shooting. So I'll play it. We'll come back and talk about it. But this is Love Conquers by Dr. Eric Thomas.
I want to read something to you. I want to help somebody now. I'm going to get somebody the light tonight. I'm going to give you a light tonight, and you may not need it right this second, but at some point in your life, you're going to need it. Greatness is remembering in the dark what God told you in the light. I just want to help somebody out. Whatever the Creator tell you in the dark, listen to me. Whatever he tells you, remember, greatness is remembering in the dark what the Creator told you in the light. I tell the little homies, do me a favor. You got 3 minutes, little homie, to give me that little crying story. You got 3 minutes. Tell me when you're ready, and go. You will not take 10 minutes of my time whining and crying about it. You give me 3 minutes and give me your story, and you got 10, 15 minutes to give me a solution. Nobody want to hear that, because after the end of it, my wife left me, and what you going to do about it? Is she gone for good, or you going to get her? No, bro, I'm talking from experience, bro. My sophomore year in college, doing my thing, traveling the road, not listening to my wife, she packed up and came back to the D and said, I'm through. I said, all right, you might be, but not without me coming down there. You feel me? You can tell me on the phone you through with me. I'm cool with that. You can write me a letter, because there wasn't no text back then. You can write me a letter and tell me. No, hear what I'm saying. You can tell me on the phone you through with me. I invested too much. I invested too much to quit. I made too many sacrifices to give up. No, listen to me. That's why it's so easy for you to quit, because you ain't paid nothing for it. I paid too much. I stood before your mama and your dad and said, till death do us part. If you leave, you will not leave me over the phone or through a letter. You will look me in my face and tell me you gone after I bring you the roses. Listen to me, you gotta hear what I'm saying. I ain't talking like somebody who ain't never been through nothing. I'm telling you she got up and left. I'm telling you she drove all the way back to Detroit from Alabama by herself and was through. I got on the road. So I will greet this day with love in my heart, all positive. And when I see her, I don't care what she say. She will know in my heart, I'm sorry and I want you back. That was 26 years ago. So if you go outside and you see it's like dark, 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 and you see the stars out there, listen to me. You can only see the stars in the what? That's the only time you can see the stars. You can't see the stars when the sun is out. You can only see the stars when it's dark. So y'all gotta start doing me a favor. It's some crazy stuff going on right now. But what I will not do is allow that craziness to penetrate me.
A weekend of street battles and stark discussion of racism exploding into a
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For thou art with me, thou my rod and my staff, thy comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. I anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. When I get in my funk, over and over, all the days of my life, over and over and over again. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Oh, I got my stuff. So when life happens, I don't just sit there and cry. I buck back. I buck back. When I see stupid stuff on the news, see, I saw what happened in Vegas. That's why I woke up the next day and I went to the school system with my church and my crew, and we went in there and inspired kids. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Love you and believe in you, God. Yep, you took 50 lives, now we about to go inspire 50 lives. And we ain't gonna talk, I ain't gotta do a lot of talking. People call, Eric, what do you think? It don't matter what I think. I'm past talking. They don't eat from you talking. They don't eat from news. They don't eat from commentary and critique. Where I come from, they eat when somebody go help them eat. I ain't just talking to talk. We will be at the school and we will videotape it while we're there. And we'll put it up on YouTube so other teachers who don't know how to train our babies and bring the best out of our babies and engage and motivate our babies, I will show them what it looks like. So you took 50 and injured 400. We coming for you. That hate is not greater than love. Hate has never been greater than love. Hate has never conquered. Love conquers all. Love is the strongest force ever. And so I will greet this day with love in my heart. I will greet this day with love in my heart, and I will overcome evil.
Yeah, man, I get chills. Like I've seen it 1,000 times.
Hey,
oh yeah, no, your allergies.
Yeah,
no, your allergies definitely can act up on that.
What is happening?
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like the hair on my arms stand up. You know, when I hear that, man. And you know, I guess before we go into the actual hookup of the video, this is. I mean, I've talked to you before. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but like. You know how Jordan did his arms and just like shrugged at the scores table, was just like, yo, I don't know. Like even I'm like surprised. Do you ever get in that zone? Because I think the craziest thing about this video is you was going so hard and then you had 2 moments where it was just hilarious. When you was like, after I bring the roses. Like you floating in and out of like the most hardcore deep point that you could ever imagine, and then joking and then back and forth. And obviously, you know, every time you speak, you know, people are impressed and wow, but do you feel yourself get in those zones? Can you feel like, like MJ when he hit the 6 threes, like, oh yeah, no, it's gonna be one of them days. Do you feel it in the moment or not really?
Well, you know what was so crazy about this particular one was I actually had a message, but I had a few violent scenes. You know, I had pulled the Equalizer scene, Jason Bourne scene, and had a specific message that I wanted to bring to the people. But unfortunately, 2 things. What happened in Vegas, not only, I felt like that would be insensitive, like to come and talk about that, you know, show Jason Bourne and the Equalizer. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's totally disrespectful.
That ain't the time for it, right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we go back to our speakers, you know, not necessarily, you know, whatever type you want to call yourself, but being in touch not only with your community, but the world. See, I think that's what a lot of speakers do wrong. You're so focused on just your message that you don't understand that there are other, you know, elements that inspire or, you know, that wouldn't be advantageous to that particular message. So for me, I woke up that morning like, yo, E, you can't go there. So I was a little stuck because when I got there, it was kind of like, yo, I you know, I don't really want to put my staff in a situation where it's like, okay, here go E again being, you know what I'm saying? Like E made me put this whole presentation together and now he calling me, telling me I can't use it. And it's like, here we go again. Like, I don't necessarily decide how life happens. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna call and say, look, I can't do that. Let's do another one. I will call you and at least say, the what you did, you probably won't see that tonight if you come. You know what I'm saying? You won't see the presentation. And I want you to know why, because I don't want you to think that I had you waste your time. But I can't do it. But I'm not gonna ask you to do another one. I'm just gonna go in there, you know what I'm saying, and as much as I can, you know, really speak to the situation. So I did, at least in my heart, know, all right, E, there are a lot of people who may be impacted by Vegas who might watch the successes. I don't know, Carl, it's 34,000 people that watch, and who knows how many people are watching it together, see? So that 34,000 could be, you know, 200,000. And so it could be people from Vegas who are tuning in. I wanna make sure that I'm able, you know, to connect with them. And so I did feel that. I felt the heart, the heaviness of those who had experienced that. And then all of us as Americans who are like, yo, I go to, like, come on, man. My wife was like, look, she called security, like, look, I need y'all at these events. Shut it down. Nobody just coming in and out, you know, anymore. I'm like, I don't know, boo, if it's on that level. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, my wife was, like, influenced by, like, yo, we always in a public place. Like, we traveling and, you know what I'm saying? So I did feel that heaviness of that. Now, the actual speech, you said it's probably like MJ. I'm in a zone, you know what I'm saying? And do I know I'm in that zone? No, I don't know I'm in the 1.2 million zone. I don't know that. But I do know I'm in a zone in terms of I'm speaking from something that, you know, I'm being transparent, like I'm speaking from my heart. And whenever I speak from my heart, I do know it's different than when I'm doing the 3 points You know what I'm saying?
If it was up to me, I'll burn your PowerPoint every single time.
Every time. Yeah, we've been talking about that. Yeah.
I know you got to do it for the corporate, be a little bit more linear when you're teaching and all of that, but man, it's nothing like just seeing you go with that. Now, I also get nervous because I never know what's coming out.
What's going to happen,
but,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same, I mean, you live with it. But I think, like I said, when I'm looking at, the three of us and how we run the 3-man weave, that was just, one of the small, a microcosm of what, this has been since the jump. Like, Carl, had the wherewithal to be like, see, I don't know what you want to do with this, but you might want to do something. I'm not sure if you caught it. And I would have heard it eventually, but Carl, pointing it out, like, you might want to listen to this now just because of the timing of it. And I'll be all the way 100 with y'all. I'm working on a new album. And so I've been cutting pieces for a new album, it's not like a timeline on it. I don't have a deadline on it. Just, storing stuff up like I always do. And so I got a little nest egg of, audio tracks that I was using and stuff. And so this is what really happened. After Carl sent it to me, first of all, I cut like 5 pieces from that audio for the album. And I cut it, and I was like, I told Candace, we were sitting there, I was like, man, E went off. And she was like, really, let me hear. So we were sitting there, we put the babies to bed, and I was playing it on the computer, and she heard the Vegas part, and she was like, wait, you putting that on the album? And I was like, yeah, what's the problem? And she was like, yo, why would you so you gonna wait until when? I was like, I don't know, whenever I put the album out. She was like, yo, put that out now. And I was like, what? And she was like, yo,
thank you,
this
Candace.
Ain't about your album. This ain't about, making the album sweet. The world needs to hear this right now. Like, the world needs it right this second. And I was like, wow. And as soon as she said it, I was like, yo, you absolutely right. I called Carl, like, Carl, did I not call you right at that moment? It was like emergency meeting.
Like, he and Candace still sitting right next to each other.
It's like 9:30, and I was like, yo, all right, I'm about to cut the times. And so I cut the times. Carl called Carl back that night just to make sure it was, spliced in the right, particular way. And then Carl was like, all right, got it. He gave it to Ken in the morning, and then Ken came with it. He was taking a little long. I got nervous, but Ken came with it, man, later in the afternoon. And when I saw it, I was like, wow. And I believe it's the fastest growing video that we've ever had. I mean, to do over 1.2 million in less than a week. We've had some videos grow pretty fast, a couple 100,000 and, that kind of thing, and go up into the millions. But this was, the timing of it and everything else. And so, yeah, he just wanted to say props to you, man, because, I don't know where you find it, but again, you find it, deep down inside to bring, some of the most powerful messages. And I think this is one of those ones that'll go up. Yeah.
Let me say this real quick, especially for, just say communicators. We don't want to limit it to like speakers, but communicators. One of the greatest communicators of our time, was Earl Nightingale. And Earl Nightingale was born March 12, 1921. For those of us who study the game, by far this is one of our, the forefathers, of the game. And you think about people like, himself, Zig Ziglar, Dr. Martin Luther King. And while you never, you never put yourself in those individuals, category C, you look at Dr. Martin Luther King, who wasn't, long after that, was born January 15th, 1929. And you see that these individuals' message continues to live on. Earl Nightingale, man, his stuff is, you still go on YouTube, whatever, listen to his stuff. Martin Luther King speeches, every year, January, February, they go out. And I remember making that transition, and Candace is right. You don't want to be selfish and self-centered. I remember, at least, I can't tell you, when it's going to happen, but I can tell you that I know the first time I thought about not thinking about myself when I spoke was when I realized, it's going to go to a whole nother level. And I remember doing it and was like, yep, this is where you need to stick to. And what I mean by that, C, is there are those of us who, whatever we do, we're cautious of how people are going to view us when we do it. And what happens is you can't be successful at something, not the highest level, when you're thinking and you're doing what you do. It's like what coach will tell you when you're hooping. Like, come on, bro, you got to just go out there and play your game. You're just thinking too much. And there are those of us when we do what we do, whatever it is that we do, we're constantly asking ourselves, what will the masses think? What will others think? You know what I'm saying? And the late great Zig Ziglar said, that for real, at the end of the day, if you're worried about what others think, you'll never produce your greatness because you're worried about what they think, and that you don't have true freedom when you're worried about other people. And so I got to a place, bro, was like, you know what? One of these days, somebody's gonna be listening to my stuff, and I'll be long gone, and they'll be saying Eric Thomas, September 3rd, 1970. They'll be saying that, and this might be 100 years from now, and they'll be talking about my speech, but they won't be talking about anybody's speech who spoke from what do people think about me? I hope they like this. I hope it comes across right, And so, man, I just let it rip, and I don't think about my image or what people are going to say or how this could affect me in my life. I'm thinking my afterlife, like once I'm gone, that's going to be way longer than the time span that I was here. And I would hate to rob the world of great messages, great teachings, a great spirit, because I'm consumed with, I hope people think that I've always been perfect, or I hope people don't think I made mistakes, or people don't know my past. Like, bruh, I always say this, it's not your past if you worried about it, it's your doggone present. If you still worried about what happened in 1982 and how people gonna see it, like, it's still your present. And I'm not ashamed, like I said, bro, I've messed up in every area of my life. School, as a son, I know my parents was like stupid disappointed in me. My wife, I'm sure she wasn't let down as much as my parents were. Like, I can't, undermine that. I let my parents down. I'm sure my children will speak to their kids or their friends and say, I made errors, I haven't been the greatest student, I most surely haven't been the best boss. Like, I don't have no problems being human and accepting that I'm human. Like, I'm human, and I'm human today. Like, don't think when I talk about my past, I'm talking about it like, my past, I was screwed up. I'm screwed up right now. I'm still making crazy decisions or not doing the best thing. I have an army around me that, in the multitude of counsel, there's safety. So I'm not making some of the stupid mistakes that I might have made in the past, not because I'm not making them, but because I have an army around me. So I'm gonna call C. Carl and I just had to talk about, marriage, and I'm still pissing my wife off because I'm not my wife. I don't clean like she cleans. I don't think like she thinks. So I'm still pissing her off. But now I got an army around me, and I'm able to ask questions and say, hey, if you were me, how would you go about handling this doggone situation? So, yeah, by the grace of God, man, I just want to speak to the hearts of those out who are service workers or people who, pour into other people. Like, give your all. Don't be worried about how people are gonna take it, and again, I hate to digress, but scared money don't win. You know what I'm saying? You put everything, put all you got on the table, you know what I'm saying? Put it all out. And that's what I attempt to do at the Success Series, that's free. That's what I attempt to do today in Austin at the schools I'm volunteering at. Bro, I'm about to give everything I have, and I can't
my fault, finish the end.
No, you good. I can just say that I know that every opportunity to be Jordan is there, because every time I get up, I'm gonna try to be transparent.
And I want to go to that part, E, because so I got the perspective of being in the room on Tuesday night, and I got the perspective of being in the school. And I can't explain to y'all, literally going into the school with a sign. It seemed like the simplest little thing that you could do, but you watch the impact that it's having on doggone it, the whole school system. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's probably having an impact on the neighborhood that we don't even know about yet. Holding up a sign and telling the kids,
y'all gotta see the actual video. Like, if you have not seen the video, he wasn't just saying we're gonna go do it. We actually showed footage after the Vegas shooting of E and the squad at the school with the signs, teaching the school. Like, it wasn't just him saying we're going to do it. It was actual footage. And I think that's maybe what made it so powerful is like, okay, he said, it was one thing to say you're gonna do it. It's another thing to cut it and be like, whoa, he literally next morning after the shooting was up there at the school.
Hey, I'm telling you, I'm watching the kids, and I don't know if y'all just heard what he said. He in Austin, Texas to speak for a corporate event, but yet he's still going to high school to do the same thing. He ain't going to the school to be no professional motivational speaker. He going to tell the kids, I love you, and give them a hug. See, I'm watching these kids walk through the door. My mom and them came up to for Jesse's birthday, and I'm like, I don't care what y'all got. Y'all getting up with me tomorrow morning, and y'all going up there. Y'all got to see this. Bro, they're walking in the door, and y'all, this is C's high school, so C know exactly what I'm saying. I'm talking these kids walking in there. The neighborhood ain't that. I'm talking, it's broken.
No, it's hood over
broken.
there. I mean, the school is what you would consider to be a hood school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, now, it ain't the worst school in the world, but you know what I mean? It's kids that come from tough elements over there.
Man,
and,
see,
you know,
you
and
can
it's all
see
the
it
kids
on
who, you know, people couldn't afford or unfortunately couldn't, you know, get them out of there. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's you know, it's the inner city school district is, you know, is having tough times.
They're walking through the door, and you could see it on them. And first of all, I didn't even know they go to school so early. 6:30 in the morning, they're coming through the school doors. But anyway, I'm talking about you could see it on them, and that hug. Like, we just talking to them, teasing them. What you listening to? What you got? You know what I'm saying? What y'all got? What instrument is that you got in there? Let's talking to them, bruh. 2-3 days in, like, I'm talking about, people love to watch a fire burn. The kids is gathering around now. We got some of the students in there with signs doing it now.
Right,
and I'm just like, yo, what an impact. Because he said, yeah, let's just go up to the school and do something, y'all. That's simple. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I got to see it from both sides. And I'm telling y'all, man, like, the impact that it's having on this school, like, that's why I was almost to tears literally hearing it again. Because, like, I'm seeing, yeah, we got the Vegas stuff and it happened, and it's crazy. And nothing we could do about that. But here's what we can do. Like E said, we're going to go right after 50, and we're going to try to make sure that we got 50 strong people that could pour right back into the community. I mean, 50 plus, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Yeah,
just
of course.
Powerful, man.
Yeah, no, and so I guess, you know, just getting on the video, and it's funny because we talked about the lady who was hating on the church, and, you know, he said it in the video, and that's why I wanted, you know, him to kind of break it down. But you say love conquers, and there's people who are going through similar situations, E, and it's so, I promise you, it sounds good on the video and you inspired and all of that, man, but it's hard to actually put into practice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yo, it's hard not to be impacted by all the stuff that's going on. Every day you wake up, you turn your phone on, there's something crazy going on, and it's hard not to let that stuff creep into your spirit. And so do you have any practical tips for people who, like, not even just the stuff that's going on in the world? You know, we had a young lady, E, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but she was like, called you in tears, like, yo, I'm broken, you know, I'm working all these hours, my son's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. If I take any time off work, I'm going to get evicted. Or whatever, if I go to work, my son is being neglected. Like, I don't know what to do. And, you know, people are at their wits' end, man, and people are struggling and they're hurting. What do you tell somebody who's going through a situation like that, or a situation where it seems like the whole world is against them?
Yeah, I always say this, man, and you know, as practical as it sounds, like, come on, that's too simple. You reap what you sow. You put apple seeds in the ground, you get apples back. You put, you know, cherries in the ground, you get cherries back. If you put 1 million apple seeds in the ground, you're never going to get anything other than an apple. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think what makes evil seem so powerful is that it has immediate results. You know what I'm saying? Somebody do something stupid, you can see the immediate results.
Right.
But sometimes stuff like love, you know, things of this nature, like these powerful things, it takes time for a tree to grow, bro. But once the tree is grown, man, you've seen cars hit trees. Like, if you live in a neighborhood, I grew up in a neighborhood, bro. I ain't grew up in a subdivision. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the neighborhood, bro, with trees and stuff. And I seen many trees get smashed by cars, and the car was wrapped in half, and the tree was sitting there for years, bro. You know, it takes time to create something like that. A tree can't grow in 2 or 3 years. It takes time, you know, but once it's developed, once it's established, it's hard to bring that sucker down, you know. And so I say to people all the time, if you're working hard to see your baby succeed, if you quit, what? That's what I always ask people. Then what? You know what I'm saying? You know, the rapper, he had some, was it Young Jeezy? He had something going when he said, then what?
And
you know what I'm saying?
And then what?
And then what? You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real. I listened to that rap years ago and was like, yo, he owned to something. So you quit, then what? So you get angry, then what? So the people, the Vickies of the world, you know, who go and try to get us shut down, then what? What do I do? Like, do I become her? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
Right,
Like, do I
right.
become her? Do I become evil like her? Do I allow that hate to penetrate me? Do I start hating on other people and start trying to tear down what other people are building up? No. Gandhi said, you are worse, you know what I'm saying, than somebody evil. And we talking about, shoot, Gandhi was born in 1869. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about, he knew back before the 1982, whatever. He knew before then, like, come on, love conquers all. And so for me, it's like, whatever the goal is, you can't take your eye off the goal because you're not seeing what you think you should see. In my eye, you go harder. So to the Vickies of the world, I just go harder, bruh. I hit more schools. I do instead of doing a once a week service, we gonna go 3-4 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all you do is like the hope.
Oh, when we get approved, we need to have a 6-month revival.
A revival.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right on the lawn.
And spread love. Find out what neighborhood she live in and go spread love. Go hold signs in that neighborhood.
Knocking doors.
For real, go knock on doors and say, I love you.
Have you heard
feel
about
me?
the goodness of the Lord?
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So I just say to those of you who are being discouraged, I think what you're doing is Peter walked on water until he took his eyes off the goal. Once he took his eyes off the goal, that's when he started to drown. Don't take your eyes off the goal. You powerful as long as your eyes on the goal. You powerful. You have unlimited abilities and strengths, and you're starting to attract all kind of positivity. But once you become your enemy, or once you let that evil, look, bruh, you start thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't work this much, or maybe I shouldn't give up, or maybe I shouldn't go this hard. Bro, as soon as you start letting that evil seep in, it's powerful, it's dangerous. And here's my thing, secondhand smoke, I might be wrong, Carl, you gotta help me out. I try not to go too scientific on folk, that ain't my lane. But secondhand smoke is worse than if you a smoker, bro. It's worse. Like, because your body
your lungs
used
ain't
to
built
it.
for that. You know what I'm saying?
Your lungs ain't built for that. And so I'm just trying
If
to
you
tell
smoking, you got the endurance.
Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you, my brain ain't, my spirit ain't, my heart ain't made for hate. It can't take it. It can't take doubt and fear. It can't take it. I can't take that kind of negativity. Like, I wasn't meant for that. So I let the Vickies of the world and the other people who are great at that, y'all go champion that hate cause. That's y'all. Y'all go do that. But as for me and my house, bro, we gonna try to keep it positive, bro.
Yeah, no, I think, and another thing you said on the video, and I've heard it before, but for whatever reason, when you said it, it stuck with me more. This last time you said you can only see the stars when it's dark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, yo, the reality of it is, yo, if you gonna shine, like, you gotta do it in the dark. Like, yo, that's what makes a star. You know what I'm saying? Like, now the star is always there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't go nowhere.
Daytime too,
But you can't necessarily see it till it's dark.
Yeah, you
And
can't see him.
Yeah, no. So I think that part is deep, man, and helping people to understand that, you know, whatever you're going through, that failure, that, you know, that hurt, that pain is, you know, it's your time to shine. That's when it's time to shine. And it was like that for us, man. Like, yo, like, we went through some dark times, like, for real. Like, and when the book comes out, 0 to a Million, you will hear about those dark times, and you will see, like, yo, it wasn't always sweet. Like, this situation he's talking about now, we had about 1,000 of them when we was coming up, because nobody wanted to see us win, and it's okay. Like, I used to think they had to be cheerleading us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I used to be mad that they was hating, and I'm like, now it's like, no. Okay, that's the natural progression of your success, is to have people hating on you, because nobody wants to see you. Like, when you, okay, so E and I used to talk about, like, you trying to get in shape, and your wife kind of, like, she might sabotage that a little bit. Why? Now, shout out to our wives. This is not a great example, but she don't necessarily just want to see you six-packed out if she ain't necessarily feeling like she on that grind, right? Because she like, yo, when we go out, you looking all good, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So my girl used to be like, oh, how much weight you trying to lose? Are you trying to get in shape? Are you trying to, you know, and she'll be on that. Now, my wife is gorgeous and don't need to fix a thing. We've already established that.
Oh, no question
you know?
that. No question that.
But,
Thank you, see.
But you don't, I'm saying,
about.
E, you got to help me with this. Don't leave me out on this boat.
I'm right
I've
there
started
with you.
on this
I'm right
journey.
there with you, bro.
I'm going to finish it. I'm going somewhere, dear. Apologize. But okay, so you got. How did I get down here, Carl? You should have just said, shut up.
You on the great lane.
But I'm trying to say, like, yo, when you in shape, you know, your friend might not want to necessarily stand next to you because you make them look that much worse. And so now that's impossible. You know, for me and my wife. Let me walk this back.
Absolutely.
But I know y'all know where I'm going. Terrible example. Now I'm like nervous because I don't know how to get it back. Okay. But Ian, this is the problem with the podcast is you talk too much and eventually get yourself in trouble. Because Ian and I have had this conversation in private where we like, yo, my girl talking about, hey, stop eating like that because you trying to make me look bad. Whatever. Y'all got what I'm trying to say, but that's just the natural progression. When we were at the office and we were doing our thing, people didn't want to see us do the Advantage program and 300, 400 kids coming out and getting their lives changed. Why? Because you sitting in the office and you look terrible because it's like, oh, y'all capable of doing this? Y'all could, why y'all ain't doing that? So now you make everybody else look bad.
With a budget.
With a budget, right? And we had no budget, and we got 400 kids coming out on a regular basis. And you can't do nothing but see 5 students in the office. It makes you look real bad. And so I didn't understand that back then. I'm like, yo, why wouldn't you try to, you know, be a cheerleader for that? But you really exposing the light on them and making them look bad. So that's why people are trying to drag you down, because not just because they hating because they got hate in their heart, but like, yo, if you doing well, it makes their averageness look that much worse. And so you kind of got to get over that, man, and you know, not let that impact your success. And so hopefully I was able to clear myself of whatever example I was trying to use there. But
I wanted to say this, that and a lot of people you're gonna be uncomfortable with it, but you know it's the truth. You cannot grow your muscles, bruh. The muscles that need entrepreneurial muscles cannot grow when everything is going well. You need some hate, bro, in your life. You need a cup of hate. You know what I'm saying? You need a cup and a third of hate, you know, at the right time, during the right season. Why? Because the muscles, let me tell you something. That speech that I did the other day, I don't think that speech could have come out. You know, the Lions win, the Spartans win, you know, the Pistons win, you know, everything going well. Actually, the tragedy of Vegas, it bothered me. It hit me. And I don't think that I Have a Dream speech could have come out if there wasn't inequality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just can't happen. And so I need you to understand that you don't want to eradicate completely the negativity or the hate in your life. You need that to build certain muscles.
I got a friend, so we were in Barbados, after y'all left, I got a friend of mine, Minda, we went to high school together. Her husband, he grew up on the east coast of the island. So you think of the east coast, we went down there, that's the side that's exposed to the Atlantic Ocean. It's like it's crazy, it's rough. Like ain't nobody going out there but you surfing, doing that kind of stuff. And like, he literally told me, yeah, this is where I learned to swim. So, you know, we took the kids and all that to the beach, and we took them to the west side of the island. That's like couch right inside the Caribbean Sea in there. It's nice and calm. And he calls it Lake Placid. I was like, why you call it Lake Placid? He's like, dude, there ain't no waves, ain't nothing over here. And he took, we went back to the East Coast later that evening, and he literally, like, we just walked down the beach. It was me, him, and the kids. And we just walked down the beach. And I'm like, yo, you learned to swim on here. I'm talking about it's rocks, it's all kinds of currents and stuff like that. And he was just like, yo, there's no part of this that's scary to me. He's like, this is where I learned as a baby to swim. I learned to swim in the turmoil. What did your boy say? I was shaped by darkness.
I was shaped in the dark.
Born in the dark.
Yeah, born in the dark.
So like when he goes to the beach now, he literally will go, he will go jump in that water that I'm talking about, like 90% of the world will drown in. And he would just go jump in there and just float around and swim. And I'm looking at my man like, wow. But like you said, like you come from that kind of environment, dude, it ain't nothing to scare you. Like you can withstand anything. Nah, I ain't gonna tell my man can't drown. Like he's still human. But y'all get what I'm saying? Like you can withstand a lot more than the average person just because of the experiences you've gone through. So when he said that, I was like, wow.
Yeah, shout out to Jers, man, who said his entrepreneurship training begins with the first 10 minutes of him trying to convince you not to be an entrepreneur. That boy said, I'm doing everything in my power to convince you that this is not the move you need to make. You do not need to be an entrepreneur. Trust me, go back to your 9 to 5, keep that. Don't even worry about being an entrepreneur. He said, because those of you who I can talk out of it, you're the ones that weren't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for real, it's real. I'm not sure how we got on entrepreneurship, per se, but just life in general.
Just going through
getting
stuff,
through getting through those particular hurdles is what makes you strong. And so, I appreciate you, E, for exposing that to the world. Let's jump into Ask ET. We got some other questions. I wanted to get into another topic today that doesn't look like we'll have time. So, E, we'll get to some of those questions. We had some relationship type questions. That I think, we can get a full, show out of almost. So we'll come back to that at some point. But let's jump into Ask ET. We got quite a few questions here. And I know we also need to shout out to our sponsor, Organifi. This segment is brought to you by Organifi, and you guys already know the deal. You want good health, you want that energy, you want all of those things, man, you need to get Organifi, all right? Organifi is doing it big. They've been a sponsor of ours for a minute. Carl, I know you got people hitting you up on the Organifi tip,
man.
just telling you
I'm
they own
passing
it.
out in the neighborhood, see.
Yeah, we got people on it. The guy who was putting the fans in here the other day, I was drinking it when he came over, and he was like, yo, what is that? I gave him a packet. And he came back the next day and was like, yo, you got any more of those? He was like, I drank it, you know what I mean? So Organifi, man, they've been a great sponsor for us, and they've also just got a great product, man. I love it. I just put in my order, for the packets. I'm partial to the packets, Carl. I like the packets because I can keep them in the car. I can keep them everywhere, and I could just drop them in the water.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. They very travel friendly as much as we're on the road. So make sure you go check out the Organifi. If you don't have time to blend your own juice, your green juice every day, this is like the cheat code, the hack code to getting it done ASAP, man. Just pour it in, 8 ounces of water, 12 ounces of water, whatever it is, shake it up, and you're ready to go, man. So shout out to Organifi. For all our listeners, you already know we got the hookup for you. Use the promo code SUCCESS at Organifi.com to receive 20% off your order. Organifi.com, spelled ORGANIFI. Use the code SUCCESS to receive 20% off. And write in and tell us how you like it. Next week, I'm going to read some testimonials just, from some people around the world, actually, who've been using the promo code and trying it out. So appreciate y'all for that. Ask ET. I'm going to give a big shout out here to our Master Self Sundays crew and my boy Elijah Rubin, who hosts a Master Self Sundays at his house, man. The podcast has been a big influence on them, man. He told me they listen to the podcast or parts of the podcast during their actual success sessions on Sundays. So, man, shout out to the whole Master Self Sundays crew, Jen, Carmen and Darius, and, all the rest of the crew for, rocking with us on the podcast. You guys are awesome. Holding each other accountable, just like for real, that's what it's about. Coming together, sharing ideas, holding each other accountable, helping each other out with finances, business ideas, entrepreneurship stuff. And so shout out to them. They submitted some questions for you, E, and I am excited to be able to bring that to you. Let me see. So they said, E, so they said, what stories do you tell yourself, or what do you tell yourself when you're feeling any feelings of doubt or disbelief? I don't know that you feel that, but.
Yeah, I don't feel that. Let me just say, maybe, the GED days, the 12 years, to get a 4-year degree. I used to tell myself, if you don't get better, you're going to be stuck right here. Mm-hmm. You're going to be stuck in this place right here. And this is not I wasn't winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't winning, and I didn't want to be stuck as a loser. So I just kept telling myself, no matter what you have to go through, pain, being stretched, develop, whatever, no matter what you have to go through, what you cannot do is stay here, because you're going to die if you stay here. And so that used to get me through that. Whatever you're going to go through is going to be, man, it'll be well worth it to get from this place. But what will kill you is staying in the same place, for the next 30, 40 years. And come on, all of us, I know y'all are a lot younger than me, but you know people that you remember 10, 15 years ago, maybe a relative or somebody on the block that you look at and you know they've been in that same spot for the last 15, 20 years, and you thinking to yourself like, yo, how is it that my man didn't grow at all? You know what I'm saying? So y'all don't have to say names, but if y'all know people that you like, yep, I know that person is still stuck. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yep, no doubt. They said, would you have still dated your wife if she worked with you prior to having a romantic relationship?
Oh, well, she did. You know what I'm saying? I was 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know that Didi and I really had like a romantic relationship till we were probably about, 18 years old, 18, 19. Because y'all got to remember, I was homeless. So at 16, 17, 18, beginning at 18, like we didn't, we didn't have a typical relationship. Like we weren't really going to movies, or going, to concerts. You know what I'm saying? I was a high school dropout. She was in school. Her mom didn't really feel me. So her mom didn't have opening the door for me. You know what I'm saying? And then welcome me. I had to see Didi pretty much at church. I didn't see her a whole lot, outside of church like that. So we didn't necessarily have, a romantic relationship in the beginning, and C, as you say, so I, because she listening, maybe, what I'm saying, somebody gonna call. We have a very romantic relationship now. It was my circumstances that didn't allow us to have a romantic relationship early on, C.
Zach in New York said, hey guys, no question, just wanted to let you guys know you make my week with this podcast. Almost drove off the side of the road listening to the Hip Hop Hater. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Shout out to Zach. We got another question that said,
did that one go million? Did that one go 1.2 million yet?
Oh yeah, I don't know, but that one.
I felt like that should have went 1.2 million.
The homeless hater.
Definitely a classic.
Yeah. The homeless hip hop hater. Let's see. Somebody, Brett in Kentucky says, CJ, how did Carl earn his way on the team if he wasn't a speaker like you and ET? Carl made himself, indispensable.
That's how he made himself.
Yeah, exactly. He made himself indispensable. I'm talking about Carl did everything, and this is a good lesson for all of you out there, man. If you young people, I know we got a lot of young folks, and by young, I'm old now. I'll be 35 next month. But I know we got a lot of people that listen to us that are young. Like, yo, make yourself invaluable. So Carl came on the squad and was driving, and he literally just did everything he could. He was like, yo, y'all need me to drive, you need me to go pick up water, you need me to go, whatever you need me to do, I'll do. And so Carl did that, and before long, it was like, yo, we would have been lost without him. And so if you're trying to earn your way on the squad, just add a ridiculous amount of value. Like for real, just go, if you want to be in the music business, just start showing up at folk concerts and carrying DJ equipment or speakers, or you know what I mean? Just like do something that could make yourself, invaluable, man. And I think more people need to learn that. They come on and they just want an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, and even now people will see me out and be like, yo, see, I want to be on the squad. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what do you do? Like, do something. I need you to add value.
I want to take Jared's spot.
Right, exactly. I need you to do something that adds a tremendous amount of value, and it doesn't have to necessarily be anything crazy. Like, yo, find a gap, fill a gap. You know what I mean? So, for those of you who, whatever industry you want to be in, start attending meetings, start finding out if you want to be, in a legal practice. Like, yo, sit outside some lawyer's office and just see if they need help, filing or anything. To do something that can take you to that next level. So Carl just earned his way on the squad with heart. But Carl, I don't know if you want to speak to that.
Well, I was going to say real quick, I remember this young lady, Ashley, that TJ had brought to the church. She said she went, I remember who it was, but she went to some mayor. I want to say Giuliani in New York. And she literally asked my man, yo, name me the top 5 things that you absolutely hate to do. Or, it's just stuff that you can't think about, you can't remember. And he listed the stuff for her. She was like, bet, you will never have to do them again. She's been working with my man for years now. You know what I'm saying? So again, you just gotta, it starts with awareness, like being aware, like we talked about it. Like, yo, you walk in a room and you hear E speak like that, it can't stay there. That was the thing that hit me. It can't stay there. So I don't know what I gotta do, but the impact that this thing is gonna have on the world, whatever I gotta go to learn, whatever I have to figure out, I'm gonna get this. Like she said, I started driving. So for me, the first thing was, this is important. The first thing is, people always talk about, environment. We talk about environment a lot. That's huge. You know what I'm saying? Nature versus nurture. you find a way to put yourself in a positive environment. And that's what it was for me, the initial. So if I'm going to drive the bus, doggone it, do you understand the conversation I'm hearing driving to the airport? Like, do you understand that this podcast is what I'm hearing driving to the airport? I ain't got to say nothing. I ain't used to talk. They'll tell you that. But I'm getting information that can help me change my life. So just number one, I'm going to do something different to get myself in the environment so that I can learn something new, do something new. And then, like I was saying, the other part, what E's saying, man, in a room, like, it can't stay there. So, okay, I got to go back to school and learn how to edit. I got to sit with Ken for a couple of weeks and learn some stuff. Hey, done deal. Like, I'm going to do it. And the world need to get access to that. Like, and that's probably one of the most selfish points in my life. I might be more selfish now. But at that point, I'm like, yo, this information is too good for me to keep to myself. So I have to find a way to get it out. Like, I think TJ preached it. Like, yo, I was pregnant. Like, it got to come out. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're getting so much stuff. It's got to go somewhere. So that was just the thing for me, man. Like, we got to get it out of here somewhere. So whatever I had to do. And then, like C said, like, being aware, man, just like pay attention to the needs. Like, seriously, pay attention to the needs of the people around you. And once you start filling them needs, I'm telling you, all your relationships are about to change.
Did Carl just say he was pregnant? I just want, for the record, I just want to make sure Carl just said he was pregnant.
Hey, it's a lot. No, it's on my mind. See, it's a lot going on. It's Latoya, it's Marshall. I got another friend.
Oh, that's a lot of people pregnant. Shout out to my boy Malcolm.
5 friends.
I woke up to a text, one of my best friends growing up. He had his first child last night, man. Blessings to him.
Wow.
Yeah. He sent me a picture like 1 o'clock this morning, man. Healthy baby boy. So praise God for that. I was gonna take one more, but I hear my babies running around. So let me get a quick update on the 100-day challenge real quick. E, what's up? How's the 100 days going? Just want to make sure we, hold ourselves accountable on the line and let everybody hear what's going on.
Yeah, you know what, man? 100 days, man, is going very well. I'm actually shocked. I'm actually shocked that I'm able to be consistent with small. And I know for some of you may say, like, yo, E, that sounds stupid, bro. But really, I have a problem doing something that seems small. I always got to do something big. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm accustomed to, if I do 100 push-ups a day, I'm like, okay, now I need to do 300. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just, I don't know what it is about me, but if I'm running 1 or 2 miles, like, now I got to go to 4 and 6, and I'm doing a very good job of staying in my lane. I'm not gonna lie, pull-ups, I did go from 10 a set of 10 to 2 sets of 15, but still very relaxed. Like, I'm not strained. I did go from 100 push-ups to yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of like, come on, E, like, you ain't got to, you know what I'm saying? I went from doing 100 push-ups, a set of 100, to I'll do 100, and then I'll go do another set to muscle failure, which is yesterday was like 70 or 80. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll do 100, then right after that 100, all right, let's go. Take a 30-second break. How many more can you do? So I'm really doing good at, really relaxing the Spanish. Shout out to the like, anybody that's doing something and you don't have an accountability partner, I feel bad for you. I really do.
Real.
Because I was doing the, what do you call it? I was doing the Spanish, the Duolingo, and what happened was I was just doing the lessons. And then Nikki told me, like, you doing the chat boy? I'm like, the chat boy? No. Well, the chat boy is like you're physically having a conversation. And so it's a different, brain, Carl. It's a different use of the brain. Yeah. And I'm like, shout out to Nikki. I didn't even like explore. I got caught up on the one aspect. And shout out to Nikki for saying, go do the conversational boy. So it's really like that person is going back and forth with you. And then I added 30 minutes. I've been listening to Telemundo, Todo Dia. You know what I'm saying? Every day. You know what I'm saying? All day. I just been Telemundo. Did he like, what are you watching? I'm like, the soaps. You know what I'm saying? But I got closed caption and I'm listening to it. And, I'm just gonna be real. It's el rapido. It is. It's quick. It's fast. But I pick up a word or two here and there, and I'm like, yo, E, if you do it for a year, you know what I'm saying? Just come back next time this year, and I guarantee you I'll be able to pick up at least half a conversation. So I'm not gonna lie, it's going good. Only thing I messed up on, C, is I had a day where I didn't run my mile. I got home after the Success Series and was like, I can't do it. I still did my 6 miles plus, but I walked I didn't do any run. I told myself at least one a day, and I didn't. But I got here yesterday, and I got 2 in. I went outside and hit the block. So yeah, man, it's going very, very well. But I do feel antsy. I feel like I want to play 48 minutes, and coach like, relax. Let's just do 26 minutes for 100 days, so you don't burn yourself out. So appreciate you asking, bro.
Yep,
I'm getting ready for the next hookup though.
Is Carl shredded yet? I ain't seen Carl.
not
Oh
yet.
yeah, definitely shredded.
yet.
I want to see Carl shredded.
Not yet.
Shredding.
Hey,
He's shredding.
It's
He's
weird because
shredding.
hey, I gave that goal because it ain't one that you can really measure till the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to measure your stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't tell you if it looked no different or not. I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to, but no, 27 days straight of 5 miles walking, jogging every single day. Yesterday, this one is hilarious. Yesterday, I got up from work, and it's about 5:30 in the evening. I looked at my phone. I have 0.6 miles.
Yeah,
And I'm
I
like,
know the
yo, I
feeling.
can't go to
I
bed.
know
I'm
the
telling you,
feeling.
momentum, bro. Like you
Yeah.
get 20-some days and you got 5 miles. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't care what I got to do. I'm exhausted, but some kind of way I'm about to get these 5 miles today. Get this, see. Oh, man, all those with the excuses, get this. I got 4 miles playing with my kids. I had them jokers get up and I start chasing them and playing catch and all kind of stuff. And I
Right,
got
right.
4 miles in about an hour,
I'm
probably
coming
about
through,
an hour.
Jordan. I'm
Bruh.
coming through, Jordan.
I couldn't believe it because I'm telling you, I was like, yo,
that's
there's
gonna
no way I
be
can
easy.
get this done. I was thinking, like, let me just go on the treadmill and try to run as fast as I can to get it
That's
done
a
because I'm
terrible
tired.
4 miles.
Oh,
A
bro,
terrible
I
4
played with them
miles.
kids for about an
Yeah.
hour, and I was like 4 miles done. I was like, yo. So, yeah, no excuses, man. You could get it done. It
Yeah.
don't have to
Yeah.
be the way you think.
But shout
you
out
could
to
get
all
it
my
done.
chunky folks. I feel you. I told E last night, I'm so
No
tired of
question.
eating healthy, bruh. I'm craving stuff I ain't never even wanted. I wanted a Whopper Jr. last night. I ain't had a Whopper Jr. in about 12, 13 years. I wanted a Whopper Jr. so bad I almost got in the car and just drove to Burger King, dog. Extra mayo. I'm talking about the whole 9, bro. I'm so tired of it. I'm like, I told E, like, I had these moments where it's like the devil sitting on one shoulder and the angel on the other. Like, bro, I'm like, no, I don't know, bro. I'm like, I don't know if this is worth it. I'm ready to smash. Like, I told E, I'm like, because we was talking about something Thanksgiving, I think, and E was trying to see if Pops could make some vegan dressing. I'm like, I don't know about that, but maybe. You know what I'm saying? Might be a little dry. So Pops, if you're listening, start working on your vegan dressing recipe. But yeah, I told E, I'm like, man, is it just me? Am I tripping, or when you go on a little diet, do you start craving stuff you never even wanted when you know what I'm saying, when you was eating regular? So I feel you. So shout out to all my chunky folks who like, look, I
will
feel
say
you,
this, though.
but I like to eat.
Yeah,
I
I will say
derive
this to you,
pleasure
though.
from eating too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Listen to me, guys. I'm being real, and I know y'all ain't used to hearing this from ET. Y'all like, this is not ET talk. Listen
You
to me
hating
very
again?
carefully.
Uh-oh,
You
bro.
hating
I'm
again?
getting nervous,
No,
see.
I'm
getting
loving this
nervous.
time. I'm
Last
loving
time this
time.
didn't go right.
Yeah, I'm loving this time. If, and for real, I say this, man, do not take this as a cop-out. But if you don't plan on doing it for the long haul, y'all, don't come over into the dark side. Like, go and stay chunky and enjoy traveling, going to the different restaurants. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Now, I will say this to you. For those of you, if you're serious, you know, I've gotten to a point where, and she's right, I'm not going to sit here and lie, but I will say when you've been doing it as long as I've been doing it now, your taste buds they change, you know.
Oh, no doubt.
They change, and so I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you.
A Snickers that sends you into a little
Yeah.
diabetic coma right now.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm talking about
Hey,
blow
the
your
fun
blow
size,
your whole
see?
mouth out.
Yeah.
The straight kitty size. We had
No,
E
I'm not
strung
gonna lie.
out.
What you said? He said he almost had a heart attack at the counter checking out at Kroger or something. He seen the little Snickers right there. And start getting cold
Convulsions.
sweats.
Convulsions, bro. Yeah, but I will say this to you though. C is telling the truth about this. So we got on a plane yesterday, and they had a vegan meal for us. The lady was like, she's like, I have one. I don't know what happened, but we have one, right? And Didi was like, you like that? I was like, yo, D, I ain't trying to be funny.
Right.
but
I
for real,
stopped
when you've
eating
been
for
doing it
taste a
three-
long time ago.
Yeah. When you've been eating like this for 3 months, man, and my cousin does I gotta pub her up. We can't. She makes food for us to travel. Of course, Carl, it won't last as long as if we were at home. But she makes enough for about 2 or 3 days. So when we got here yesterday, we're not tempted. And Austin, I'm sure it could be tempted. It's Texas, so I'm sure barbecue, Tex-Mex.
You said she made some vegan ribs though, right?
Yeah, which my wife loves. And I'm gonna be honest, they tasty, but I don't necessarily get into, Carl, the meat substitute.
The substitute,
you know what I'm
boy,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a bridge. As long as you don't make it to a highway, some folks to turn it to a 4-lane highway. You know what I'm saying? You know, if it's a bridge, you cool. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna be eating, you know, things that are not healthy, you could just stay with whatever you was doing before.
Regular ribs.
You know what I'm saying? You make that might be too harsh. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm just saying, like, I'm not judging you guys, but I'm saying for those of you who are not ready to go to the distance, you know, you don't want to play with this. This isn't something you need to do. I was talking to a gentleman the other day who said he had a 6-pack, Carl, but he made the 6-pack to go, and now he don't have a 6-pack no more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, you put in all that work, bruh, to not do it, which is why I'm only doing so many sets, so many push-ups. And I'm just gonna be real. I'm looking at my body, and I could see the difference. Now I don't look like no bodybuilder, but I can see that I work out.
Love handles disappear.
Yeah. And it's enough for me, bro. I'm not trying to, for real. I'm not
Carl,
trying to
love
be in the
conquers.
gym.
Don't hate on the love handles. Love conquers. You know what I'm saying?
Conquers. Yes, and so do the handles. You know, so for real, man, if y'all ain't ready to be about that life, man, for real, don't go out
Man, it's
here,
ugly,
man. We
bro.
don't suggest it.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I just be pissed. I'm riding past Popeyes like, man,
Oh,
it
Diddy
smells so
struggling.
good,
She in the
especially in the
airport, man.
airport. Whoo.
Yes, Diddy
in
saw
the
it in the
airport, it just
airport.
waft right through your nostrils. You like,
Now, you
wow.
know the only good
I'm going
thing
to fresh to order. You know what I'm saying?
But the only good thing about Popeyes, this is the only good thing about it, and I'm not mad at nobody, but generally the people who are eating Popeyes, it looked like they've been eating Popeyes. That's the only cool thing.
And they look happy too. I promise
they
you, they look
very
happier
happy.
than the people over
Yeah.
here eating at the vegan garden. People at the vegan garden ain't talking to each other. Popeye, they having a party at Popeye. Everybody joyous. You know what I'm saying? We having a good time.
Stupid joyous, but I'm saying you could
Joy come in the morning.
Yeah, right. That's what all I'm saying. Hey, for all y'all who listening, we're not suggesting anything. We just said pick your poison and be happy with the poison you pick.
But
be
is
happy
it
with
like,
the poison you pick.
you ever had this thought and just like, man, why can't fried chicken, broccoli taste like fried chicken?
Bruh,
You know what I'm saying? And fried
all
chicken,
the time. I'm like, God set us up at creation
Like,
because God,
bruh.
you made it taste different. You could have given me
Right.
like, you
I'm
hit
like,
a banana.
dog, why, a piece
and
of
that
pecan
sucker-
pie could have
oh,
easily
man.
tasted like a little vegan substitute
sausage.
link. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, bro. He got me off to the wrong start on the vegan boy, though. He let me eat a vegan
man.
sausage one time
Oh man,
Straight
and
rubber.
didn't tell me. You know me, this was
didn't know.
early in our relationship. I didn't
And
know about it, Carl.
And I didn't eat it, Carl, and I forgot to tell him don't eat it.
Oh, I
didn't eat
grabbed
it.
like 5 of them links. It was, Carl, it looked like sausage links. I thought I was eating a sausage link. I bit into it, and to this day, it's probably the
terrible,
worst
Carl.
bite of my life.
Terrible. I should have told him.
I
didn't
was
know.
like,
I knew
he was
not
like,
to
oh,
eat
my
it,
bad.
Carl. Yeah, I knew
Car
not to
tires.
eat it, but I didn't think he would eat it. But
I
it
didn't
did,
know.
You're right, it did look real. They
It
had
had the
that sucker
form.
looking. Oh, I'm talking about the form of godliness.
Hey, you know how, and I
I
felt so bad because I had got a big plate, Carl. You know how when you get too much food, you're like, ooh, I don't want to throw this away. So you fold your plate in half and like crunch it all the way to the bottom of the trash. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it had a little napkin like, that sure was tasty. Thank y'all. I was like, oh, God. Don't ever let me. So now every time I go out with E and we go to one of his, family or friends' house, I'm like, nope, I'll pass. Yeah, I'm waiting
I'll
on.
pass on that.
I'll wait on Wendy's
Hey, I
later
use
on.
recycled rubber in the garden, not for my dye.
Right, exactly. So, all right, man, let's get out of here. We got things to do. I got to get the kiddos ready for school.
And I gotta go
Okay, what do we
speak.
got?
I gotta
What do
go
we got?
speak.
Huh?
I have to go speak. Tobe's coming up.
Yeah,
Tobe's gonna perform a couple
good.
songs. Yeah. So me and
What was I
Tobe
gonna
be
say?
together
Oh,
today.
LA, November 12th.
November 12th, yeah.
Come out to LA November 12th. If you're on the West Coast, man, y'all been calling for us to come out there. We are coming with the crew, and it's gonna be amazing. So November 12th in LA. October, matter of fact, what's that?
29,
Next
yeah.
weekend, we'll be in Chicago. So come out to Chicago, man. I love these small events. It was E's idea to do these smaller, like entrepreneurship type events with just, a real intimate setting. These aren't the big conferences These are a little bit more exclusive for my entrepreneurs, people looking to go to that next level. That's October 29th. Go to etinspires.com/events to get tickets for both of those. And then also, of course, the phenomenalcruise.com, man. We are cruising and excited about that as well, man. We are going to the islands. And just gonna have a great time, man. We got a sweet lineup for you guys. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a ton of fun. So join us on the cruise as well.
And shout out to all our people in the Caribbean who's still struggling with no electricity,
prayers up.
man. Prayers up.
Hey,
man.
I was
We
gonna
love
say,
y'all.
real quick too. Y'all heard us talk about being in the schools, man, but we're not stopping there. Like we've literally put a curriculum together.
Yep.
Teachers, we literally have a curriculum now that we're offering to you guys. So please go to the website. You ain't even gotta look. See, I put it on the website. Like you go to etinspires.com. It's right there in your face. You'll see school days. Just click on that link. And just kind of read it, man. But we're putting this
all
whole package
teachers,
together.
Educators, principals, superintendents. Send it to somebody you know who's a teacher, man. We are trying to take over the school systems. We want to go in there, man, and just assist teachers with this curriculum that we've set to help your students get their mind together for learning. And man, just incredible results this far. I think we'll be at a school system this week, right, E? Or this weekend, or coming up. So yeah, man, we are serious about what we're doing, man, and we appreciate everybody for supporting. Shout out to everybody who ordered the book Secret Superpower. I've been getting a ton of comments on that. People texting me, sending videos of them reading the book to their children. And I really appreciate you guys supporting that book, man. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to us, man. So thank you to everybody for supporting. E, get us a nugget of the day so we can get out of here. Y'all go to iTunes, leave us that review. But yeah, E, get us out of here so we can go get some work done.
Hey guys, if I give all my possessions to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I might boast, but I do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil. Again, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects. It always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy E.T. Look, man, first and foremost, man, I just want to say thank you to everybody out there. Look, we got a special announcement. I know it's a lot going on in the country right now, and on behalf of ETA and the ETA family, we're trying to do our part to bring inspiration and hope. And we've decided, over the last 3 or 4 years that the school system across this country is going to be what we focus on. And so there's so many causes right now. Every single cause, guys, we should give our attention to, but we've picked our spot, we've got to the spot, and we've been trying to help our teachers here. Look, let's just be honest. Our teachers are going through so much. They are underpaid, underappreciated, undervalued, right? And we've been doing our part on YouTube, as well as visiting different schools and different school districts across the nation, and really just giving them tools that they need to help our students be the best students they could be and to dominate. Let's not forget, we are a superpower, and in order to stay there, we've got to do our part to help America's future. So we need your help. Look, we don't ask for favors often, but we need your help. We want to show these teachers how much we value them. And so what we're asking you to do is to donate. Look, so on behalf of AT&T, I just want to shout out to Ron and my boy Sean, who sent phones, who sent iPads and tablets for our kids and other trinkets. And so we're asking you to do the same thing for us. Look, we're asking for anything. Chipotle cards, Chick-fil-A cards, Starbucks, get them a latte. But we want to show our teachers how much we love them, how much we care for them, how much we value them. And while we can't be in the schools, helping them every day, we can show them how much we care. So do me a favor, send it to attention to School Days. That's 116 615 Hartel, Grand Ledge, Michigan 48837. Again, school days. I want you to make it attention to school days. That's 11615 Hartel, and that's in Grand Ledge, Michigan 48837. So once again, let's help our teachers make our students great. It's your boy E.T. Thanks so much for your support.